Hola, yo soy Jose de Workbench.tv. What's up, guys? I'm here with another tutorial, a little technique that I like to use when I'm making presets and stuff like that. So right now I'm making a preset for a collection I'm hoping to offer at some point. I've got a whole bunch of little things built, and I'm kind of working on modernizing them so that they're more customizable for you guys to use. So let's go about modernizing this one. I'm actually going to start all over from scratch on this guy. I'm going to leave this down here, but what this is made out of is strokes, and if I want to change the length of this very easily, it's not going to be good to do it with a stroke because there's no real way to do any kind of expressions on it. So I'm going to start with a new square. Oops, not on that layer. God, I do that every time. Go over here, click on that, and we're going to change this rectangle. I'm going to leave, I'm going to turn the stroke off. I'm going to leave it white for now anyway. And what we're going to do is I'm going to make this thing only 1 pixel wide for now. Make it, I don't know, just this tall. I'm just doing something temporarily. 600, how about that? I'm going to set this roundness up to 300 because I don't think you're ever going to really make it wider to where it'll matter. As you can see, it'll be round until it starts to get wide again. So I'm going to set that, let's see what this is here. All right, so that'll allow us to actually keyframe both the length and width of this thing. So we're going to make a new slider. Not a new layer. We're going to go click on our layer. We're going to go to Effect, Expression Controls, Slider Control. We're going to make a couple of these, so I'm just going to duplicate like 3 or 4. All right, so this is going to be the thickness. And we're just going to go over here to size. We're going to do X equals slider over here. And for now, we're just going to set it to X, comma value 1, just so I can have it ready to go. So right now it's 0. We're going to go back up to there. All right, so that's that one. And then, well, let's set this up now too. So we're going to do length. But in this case, we're not going to apply it to here for now. We're going to use 0 here. I'm going to key this. We're going to do 1. What that's going to do is going to set up a ratio for us to multiply the length by later on. All right, so this stays where I need it to be. We're going to go down here to position, and we're going to alt-click. I'm going to go y equals. And I'm going to pick whip this right here. Divided by 2, and then we're going to go down here. We're going to do value 0, comma y. Be negative because we want it to go up instead of down. So for right now, you can't really tell what's going on, but that's okay. So I'm going to go back up here, and I'm going to set my length to, let's do like 40 for now, just so we can see what it looks like. I'm going to go over here, and we're going to do value 1 times, I'm going to do length in this case, L equals that slider. And this is going to be times L. Let's make it capital just so you can tell what it is, because that's kind of hard to determine. So now it's 40, and this is negative 20. So these are all set up in a system now to where we can do this, and it moves up. So I'm going to make another slider. We're going to call it, let's call it radius. It's going to be the radius of how far these things out. You can see in our original, this would be our radius from here to there. So that's actually a pretty simple one. We're just going to apply it to this anchor point. So we're going to do R for radius equals that radius. And here we're going to go value 0, comma R. All right, so if we move this radius up, it'll push it out there. So I'm just going to match the original one. Move these keyframes back for a second, just so I can see where it starts. Move that to there. I'm going to even keyframe the length here. Go back down. Or not keyframe it, but I'm going to move it back down. I still have those should still have those keys selected. I guess I don't. I'm going to move them over. There we go. So you can see it does the same kind of thing. All right, so here's the tricky part. I just kind of had to pause here and figure out how to do this. So we're going to take this and we're going to go, we're going to keyframe this. I'm going to turn this off so we can see what's actually happening. We're at 0. I'm going to go up to 1, just 10 frames down. I'll just go up a little bit. Where's that actually go out? Let's go out all the way there. Okay, so what we're going to do is keyframe to here. So what we're going to do is R plus, put another parentheses in, we're going to do value 1 times, we're going to put a new thing in here, we're going to do L equals, for length, we're going to grab the length slider, value 1 times L, in the parentheses, and there we go. So this is actually the opposite of the way I set this first part up. So that doesn't grow at all in this one. So this actually does that. It starts at 1. So we're going to go over here, starting at 1, and moving to 0. All right, so now to finish this off, all we're going to do is add a repeater to this. Make sure it's below everything, not inside here, because then you'll end up repeating it all strangely. We're going to set this, oops, not that. We're going to set that to 0 so it doesn't move around. We're going to rotate it by 360 divided by the number of elements I want. This has 12, so we're going to divide by 12. And for some reason, we're going to set our copies to 12, even though the first one is counted as a copy. I don't know why it counts the original, but there you go. And that's pretty much how you can use a slider and just a simple just range map, basically a slider to values in your keyframes so that you can change things later on. So now that we have this all set, I can change the radius so that it's bigger. We can start smaller. We'll do the same thing. You can change the length, make it longer, change this radius, go out here so that it's huge. And then you just make a preset and then all of your sliders and stuff will be in there. So I'm going to go back to where I was because I kind of liked the way that one was set. Get rid of this slider. And then you can name this if you want, but it won't retain in the preset for some reason. What you have to do to make a preset out of this is select everything. So I hit UU and I go down the line, make sure all of these little things are selected. Just so that everything has everything in it, I click all of this stuff. I don't really need the stroke actually, but I go to repeater, effects, and then I go even in here and make sure all of this stuff is clicked. Let me go effect, nope, sorry, animation, save animation preset, and I already have a couple in here. So if you forget, like I do, where this folder is, it's in your Documents folder, Adobe, After Effects, User Presets, and these are ones that I'm making. So we're gonna call this pop. Actually, I'm just gonna write over the old one, popeven.ffx. Replace it, and then I'll put it in a little menu up over here, which I think it just refreshed itself. Yep. So now I'm going to delete this and click pop even, and we get a solid. So maybe I didn't select something. Click on that, shift click on everything else, click this, that, and just click everything you can possibly click that has a name. Make sure these are all clicked. I'm going to unclick them and click them again. Slider, slider, slider. Repeater, expression position, like everything that shows up that you can actually click on and select, do that. Okay, so now we're going to go up to animation, save animation preset. I'm going to save that as pop even. Saving it over the old one, .ffx. Save it, replace it. Click off, delete that. I have nothing selected. Go into here, user presets, pop even. Oh, nice. So I did some research, and apparently this is a bug that they had to put in to fix something else. I don't know. This is why you always make sure that you leave enough undo. It's not going to save the name of this, I guess, but it will save these as long as you don't do like I did and click absolutely everything. So go over here. telling you, man, there's some crazy bugs in this stuff sometimes. I'm saving all of this. Click, click, click. Click all these. Click effects. Don't click the slider actual values, I guess. Man. All right, so we're going to go effect, save animation preset. Save over top of that old one that I did. Pop even. Save. Replace. And hopefully this works. Pop even. Okay, so we got it. Now what is this class group? Content, rectangle path one. Oh, that's why, because it renamed that too. It renamed its own thing. All right, so I'm just going to change that in here because that's not going to maintain. So we're going to change it to group one. This is all, you always have to play with this when you're making a preset like this complicated. Even though it is simple, it's still complicated. So select all that. Select that, even though that's not going to maintain anything. And we're going to click on effects. So we're going to undo the sliders. Just the names. Jesus. Save animation preset. Thanks, Adobe. I mean, I really appreciate it. Pop even, save, replace, and here we go. Get rid of this. Open up my presets again. User presets. Pop even. Hey, look, no errors. It only took us, like 15 times. Why is that going to not 0? All right, so I think I know what's going on here. Yep, exactly. All right, took a little bit of figuring out here, but of course, look what gets added over here, right? So these go away, and what's left? The stupid stroke that I never had turned on. So, one more time, we're going to save this. I'm going to just dump that stroke. Hopefully it doesn't keep it this time. Get all of that. We're going to do group, rectangle, fill, transform, repeater, effects, turn off the sliders so that they keep their names. All right, save animation preset. I'm going to save over the last one. Pop even, replace. All right, I'm going to get rid of this. All right, so pop even and no stroke. No stroke. I don't know why it saves it like that. I don't know why it doesn't just save everything in your layer minus whatever you don't want or whatever. I mean, it is called a preset, so one would think it would do that, but again, we get Adobe every once in a while. So that's pretty much it, guys. Thanks for watching me do that like 5 or 6 times. And I'm Joe from Workbench, so keep following us, and thanks, guys. Bye.